Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Polish tier 9 medium tank, the CS-59. Now this tank is fabulous. I love this tank. It's been on the channel now with its first video it had as the introduction video for the tank, and then the CS-63 on-track video, and I had quite a few good games in these Polish mediums. I've still got quite a few replays in these tanks, and honestly that whole line is the whole line is just a blast to play. Honestly, it's a fantastic line. I cannot recommend playing the line enough, right? It's just a lot of fun. And the fact that the tier 8 is so good, and then you play the tier 9, and this tank is just fabulous. It's got a pretty good gun. It's got very nice DPM. It's got decent mobility. It's not the best, but it's decent. And it's got the kind of armour that isn't exactly reliable, but can pull off the odd bounce. Now, the one thing I will say, and it's what I've seen a lot of people doing in it, is when they're on ridge lines, is they literally just sit still. They'll sit in front of someone, they'll sit still and think, I'm going to bounce you. And then you literally just shoot them right through the centre of the turret. Because, like I said, genuinely, the tank has no armour. As you see an STG snap a shot straight in there, as he's on the move backwards, because that's just 6.0 accuracy. And, yeah, it has no armour. So, the fact that when you get hit, you're most likely going to get penned is one thing that is bad about the tank. But like I say, at the same time, because of the light, you see the shape of the turret there, it's really like sort of well-angled, round. If you're moving backwards and forwards and you're not just stopping still, there's every chance that they might hit the extreme angle on the turret and therefore bounce. And I've had it a few times where people have bounced and it's been like, oh, they probably shouldn't have bounced that, but they did, because angling. And it's one thing I will recommend to everyone, especially when you play any of these tanks on this line. Just keep moving. Don't stop still on a ridge line. Don't expect to bounce anything. Just keep yourself moving, and therefore you'll bounce something along the lines, along the way. So, we're on Cliff again. Yeah, we're on Cliff again. It's been, what, 5 videos in a row. And we've actually had the different spawn to what I've had with some of the other videos, and we are attacking from our northern end. And we've actually taken this northern end and gone straight into the bowl, and we've had no opposition to it. Their team has done strange things and been mostly in their base, but now that we've actually taken this up a bit, they've finally pushed into the bowl, and that's because we actually stopped opposing it. Everyone had gone straight up to where we are now and had given up that lower section to be on the upper section, and actually now they're a bit stuffed pushing where they are, because they're generally pushing into a crossfire, and we've got a lot of people on this upper area as well that can shoot down into it. And I decided, you know what, I've done what I can to those guys down there. I don't want to face the T95. I'm just going to go and try and spot the guys in the cap and in their base that are camping, because we've got a lot of shooters and they weren't really spotting anything. And if I can spot these guys up, I'll get assistance, and also I can spot them up and get damage. And you see just how good the reload is on this tank. It's beautiful. I'm going to load HE for this waffle, although I might not need it because he'll get hit. Yeah, but we finish him off and we get the kill on that waffle. Now I'm going to aim for the lower plate of the Diamondback. He gets killed before I get shot him. Then we actually get tagged, and I think that was from our base. Yeah, I think they've got someone in our base, and we've popped a shot into the tracks of the T95. What I wanted to do there was trap the T95, keep him pinned, and then get round him. We get a nice shot free aimed into the top of his tank, and with the good reload, what I'm going to do is just shoot him in the back end and try and track him in place. He ended up getting tracked in place by someone else, and he gets finished off by them. There's now only 3 tanks left. There's this medium tank round this corner here. We know there's the light tank that's spotted up there that looks like he's going to go throw himself, well, he did throw himself off the cliff. And the medium tank that was in our base, because like I say, when we were up there, you just got to remember these things, right? We got clipped from our base. We knew the TL1 LPC was there, but I gave up on him. I thought, you know what, I'm going to go after this medium that's in our base. But when I managed to get a shot into him as we spot him, and I was like, there he is, look. I knew I got tagged from our base. because the shot, he was from the base basically was the only place I could have been shot from, because you can actually get shots into that area where I was if you're up high, and that's what he did. And so I knew, just remembering that, where he was, and we went back and we managed to get a shot or two into him before he died. So I finished the game with 4 kills, 5.6k damage, ace tanker, high caliber, 863 base XP, and nearly 2k assist as well, so that was 7.5k combined. And it was a really nice game for the tier 9, and honestly, it's a beautiful tank. It's just great. It's what you can want. Obviously, I think if we were pre 6.0, this tank would still be good because the DPM is really nice. But one thing that would hold it back is that 0.38 accuracy that the gun has. But unfortunately, with 6.0 accuracy, that just means the accuracy doesn't really mean much. For the most part, you're going to have good accuracy on every tank you have, unless you're talking about dirt guns or tanks with like 0.5 accuracy plus, because you can't get them down to that sub 0.3 accuracy, which is just, yeah. It just means that people can snapshot easier, they can hit more shots easier, and it's just a bit annoying at times. But it means that there's no derpy guns as well, so it, you know, at the same time, it makes a lot of tanks bearable to play that wouldn't have been, you know, pre 6.0. And like I say, you know, if it was pre 6.0, this tank might have been still good, like I say, because of the DPM and stuff. But it wouldn't have been, I probably don't think it would have been as crazy as it is now, because that gun handling might have let it down on quite a few occasions. So we're on port, and I took up a rather aggressive position here, which is good for spotting the cross. We got 1 or 2 shots into the people on the cross, but I don't want to stay there for that much longer, because stuff like the Cranbon in the Mill 2 or whatever, I think it was in the Mill 2 actually, will basically be able to get shots from those ridges into me, which is not what we want. So we're going to drive around this corner, shoot the M46 pattern. I knew I was possibly going to take a shot in return. We actually set him on fire as well, which is juicy. Our friend drives around, blaps him, we finish him off, and we're just going to drive around this corner now. There's a T100 LT up there, get shot into his side, and we're already up to 2.7k damage. It's been, what, 2 minutes? We're already having a really nice game. We get another shot in there, and like I say, just look how quick. This is how quick it racks up damage. We're at 2 minutes and 10 seconds now. And we're already up to 3k damage, which is already a nice game for a tier 9. We'll come around the corner on this Death Star, free him a shot into his side. And hopefully I'm going to try and get a shot into him before the Foch finishes him. We do finish him off. And we're going to drive around here now to try and get some more shots into these medium tanks. As you see with the food popped, we actually have a 6.2 second reload, which is just ridiculously good. And funny fact, we actually have way better DPM than that M48 120mm. It's just the way it is. I say way better. It's not way better. He has a 6.8 second, and I think 6.5 second with the food boosted. We have 6.6 and then a 6.2, and we're a tier 9. We have just a better rate of fire than him completely, and generally a better gun as well. It's just the way it is. And this guy is actually firing heat. So what I'm actually doing is side scraping him here, and because he's firing heat, he's not penning me because he's just hitting the spaced armor. And yeah, honestly, I never get, like, I understand full prem spam, right? Full prem spam is something that people do because it just takes out that annoyance of having the RNG of pen, you know, with low pen shells not penning, or just shells not penning in general. Just takes that away. But what I never understand is people that fire certain types of shells that are full, you know. So like heat, for example, I'd never fire full heat and just have none of the AP shells, because heat is just horrendous, because the amount of times it mucks you up more than it helps you is crazy, because you'll just shoot someone in the side and think, oh, that's not a destructible building, by the way, don't drive into it. Yeah, the amount of times you shoot heat into the side of someone, it just goes absorbed, and you're like, oh, right, okay, great. Yeah, it happens all the time just because of the way the heat acts. And yeah, it can be annoying. So we've driven around the corner on these guys. Anyway, we digress. And we managed to get a shot into the E1 to track him. We got a shot into the E5. We've got a nice shot on the move on into this E4. I know I've got the health to take the shot. He actually shoots someone else. We get another shot into him. And we finish that game off with a nice, healthy total of damage. So we finished with an epic victory. We finished with 3 kills, 6.5k damage, 879 XP base. and 747 assistance. So again, it's about, what, 7.3k assistance. Ace Tanker, Confederate, Sniper, High Caliber, and another great game for the CS-59. A tank that is honestly fantastic. It's brilliant. I love it. I love the whole Polish medium line. It's been a fantastic grind, and it was just a lot of fun to play. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
A great success!